120 miles off of the west coast of Costa Rica, there exists an island with a rich history that dates back to long before that of its 20th century exploitation. This island is known as Isla Nublar, the home of the original Jurassic Park and its newer incarnation, Jurassic World. Discovered in 1525 by Spanish navigator Diego Fernandez, the find would soon be named Cloud Island by Nicolas de Huelva, who was a cartographer on the Spanish carrack, La Estrella. Nublar was given this name because of the black smoke that had begun to rise at the north peak of its layout. This was the earliest documentation of Mount Ceibo's volcanic activity. Soon after the island was discovered, 5 more were found 87 miles east of Fernandez's initial find. This archipelago would later be named Las Cinco Muertes, or the 5 deaths as we've come to know them. Now, upon exploring Nublar, the Spaniards would learn of the existence of a local indigenous tribe known as the Bribri. These natives refer to their island as Guasi, roughly translated to the house beyond water, and they called themselves Tunsi, or watermen. Living alongside the Bribri were native animals such as the 2-foot-tall Nublar tufted deer and the rarely seen brown pelican, who would often stop along the coast to rest from their long migrations. These animals would later share their home with much bigger, and in some cases, threatening neighbors. 4 centuries of history displaced many of the local inhabitants, and in 1987, those few who remained were settled off island by a certain genetics company. You see, in 1985, John Hammond had decided to cancel his plans for Jurassic Park San Diego, and instead moved his construction teams to Isla Nublar after he leased the island from the Costa Rican government. This created conflict and turmoil for the indigenous people of Cloud Island, and resulted in an unfortunate slaughter that took place there in the 80s. It is said that some locals chose to rebel against the mercenaries who went in to relocate the Bribri. One individual by the name of Nima Cruz recalls the events being unnecessarily harsh and personally tragic. She insists that one man in particular named Oscar Morales murdered some of the indigenous people who tried to fight back. Her accusations have never been denied by the man in question, and he actually states that he felt extreme remorse for committing those terrible acts of violence, and so to remind himself of those who were killed by his hand, Morales dedicated a long series of tattoos inked onto his left arm, the skulls symbolizing the enemies whom he had to kill. In 1987, the last of the Bribri were resettled off island, and Jurassic Park would begin to take shape. InGen harnessed the power of Mount Ceibo, the volcano whom the Spanish cartographer had named Cloud Island after, and in doing so, brought forth a great deal of power and control to the vast jungles of the island. The geothermal power plant was built in the northern regions, and the visitor center as well as the rest of the park itself would soon follow suit in the coming months. During this time, cloned dinosaurs would begin to be shipped in from Isla Sorna, and not too long after their delivery was carried out, a violent hurricane and unforeseen act of industrial espionage would plunge Nublar into total chaos, setting the dinosaurs free to terrorize the men and women who had found themselves trapped on the lands of the relocated people who had lived there for thousands of years. What the company and its investors had called discovery would later be known everywhere as nothing but the rape of the natural world. Alright guys, that is the complete history of Isla Nublar, all the way up to the events of the original Jurassic Park. The information that was used to piece this video together was gathered from the Masrani Global website for the most part, with only the names of Nima Cruz and Oscar Morales coming from 2011's Jurassic Park the game. These particular events are actually said to line up completely with the wider movie canon and can be traced back to Simon Masrani himself. Link will be in the description. So what do you all think about InGen's dark past? Did you know about any of this, or is all of this stuff new to your personal Jurassic experience? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Now before I go, I want to thank my game wardens, like Andy Lucas, as well as all of my InGen executives, like Steven. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. It means the world to me that you guys have helped me build this thing up, and I am seriously, eternally grateful for every ounce of support that you guys have shown me. Honestly, it means the world. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and hope that you all enjoy today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.